It's been a violent country since the beginning. We've always been constantly in war. The other side of the aisle, the right side of the aisle, constantly calls for violence. I have an article right now talking about, where does he say? It says, behind, it's even somebody that's, they're using the Bible to say they want to have violence. They say, we want all the liberals dead. We want, they've been calling for violence. You're
going to be able to find people that are going to say anything.
Yeah, but they're not, they never condone it.
There's a person who said, America's in a civil war and we're about to have a civil war and it can be bloodless if the left allows it to. And this is a far right guy. You can find crazies everywhere.
Yeah, but on the one side, they condone it. Just now they're condoning the shooter. Like I said, when Paul Pelosi got beat up, even Donald Trump was making fun of him. Yeah. They don't care. You have to, if you stop dealing with people, stop having a heart for people that don't have a heart for you.
Now, I understand where you're coming from. It's not about, to me, it's not about having a heart. This is just how I am about.
And I mean, I'm not saying I wanted him to die or get shot like that.
I understand. I know. This is just how I am in general, because if we can't, the same way I am about, okay, you didn't win the election, let it go. I'm the same way when it comes to an election. Why not? If we're going to have an election, let's have one. We're a quasi civilized nation to a degree. I'm not, you understand what I'm saying? Like, we hold elections. There's other countries where they hold elections and you already know who's going to win. Period.
If Joe Biden got shot, how do you think the other side would be like, oh, we condone all this stuff?
I think a lot of people would say, no, they don't condone it. I think that there would be a lot of people who say things like, well, this is what tyrants, blah, blah, blah. You're going to find,
they'll be like, damn, he missed
everywhere.
No, I mean, like the people that are supposed to come out and talk, like you have representatives and senators and stuff that are coming out. They were making fun of Paul Pelosi. That's where I kind of put the line at. Think about it. You're supposed to be like, no, we condone this to all your constituents so they can be like, no, we're about peace. No, you've been asking for war for years. You've been asking for kind of violence like this and someone does it. Now you want to be shook.
And this is, I mean, honestly, they play the victim. They are.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not,
It's the bully that can't fight. He's just bigger than everybody else. And then when he finally gets beat up, he's like, now they're the victim. I mean, like I say, I'm not condoning it. It's horrible. Nobody should be getting shot, especially when you're having a rally. But he was up there talking shit anyways.
Like I say, man, I'm on.
Think about it. He was talking shit.
Having these conversations with people already. You know what I mean? I am. You know what I mean? So I understand.
Yeah.
I feel the same exact way you do.
I ain't got no mercy for nobody. Ain't got no mercy for me. That's just how I carry my life. I'll stop and help old lady cross the street. I'll see somebody. I'll see a little kid. I'll be with my kids. And I'll see another little kid by himself, and I'll be like, "Bro, we're going to stand here with you until we find your parents." I'm that kind of person.
Yeah,
but if I see somebody, I'm just saying that's a character. That's my character. But if I see somebody that just doesn't like me, just not to like me, then I feel in my mind they should die anyways. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know me for nothing. For your point, for you to even hate me.
This doesn't mean to me. This is politics. This is separate from how I feel personally about people. Yeah. These are politics. Everything can be separated out. How I feel politically is not meaning that I need him to die over it. Like I said in our last clip that we did about this, because I disagree with someone's political view doesn't mean I want him to die.
No, that's what makes us American. Like we should disagree on political views. There's a lot of things we do agree on as Americans. Well, I mean, some of us agree on Americans. Like we don't like pedophiles. Mm-hmm. I mean, some of us.
I understand.
We want lower gas. We want lower groceries. We want to be able to afford homes. We want to be able to go to work for 40 hours or less a week and actually be able to live and have a good and enjoy our days off. You know, I think everyone agrees on those fundamental things. Mm-hmm. And we want to make sure our country is protected. Those are fundamental things that we all agree on. All the rest of the stuff is just how we feel about things. But I mean, yes, this kind of political violence, but that's a failure on security.
I mean, absolutely a failure. But the biggest thing is they're going to take this point and they're going to make it into something where they can play victim now. Oh, well, you guys are attacked Trump and they're trying to do this to Trump and this is this and man, you guys have expounded violence this entire time. You guys have been talking about violence. You guys have been wanting violence. You've been calling for it. I've been hearing you say, if this doesn't go our way, we don't know how
there'll be blood in the streets.
X, Y. This is what you're calling for. This is who you are. Nobody's on the other side of the aisle. You haven't heard anyone say, oh, if this election doesn't go our way, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. Because that's not how it's an election. That's what the elections are for. People vote. You know, in reality, that's how it really should be. It really should be just election of Americans versus Americans, where it's like the majority wins. That's an election. That's a true election at the end of the day. But we have the system that we have in place, and you guys have a lot of say so in that system. And if you can't take what comes along with an election, then you shouldn't be here. Like this guy obviously had some views that were outside of the norm.
Even if it was like, we don't even know why he shot him. We don't know nothing. There
could have been a number of reasons.
There's not a manifesto that's been found at the time of this recording.
Yep.
No one's checked his internet history at the time of this recording. We don't know why he did it. He could have just been crazy. Remember the lady that wore a diaper all the way from Philly and she drove all the way to Washington, D.C. and ran into the barrier during President Obama's election or presidential run? She wanted to try to kill him just because, she had some crazy conspiracy. You never know. These people are just fucking nuts.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing, too. We don't deal with mental health. And, this wouldn't happen if we kind of had gun control. But, anyways, that's a whole nother subject.
I mean,
but that's America. I don't want to get rid of guns.
Is it really even a gun control issue? Is it just
gun control has to do with they mask gun control. I shouldn't even say that. They mask gun control with not looking at people being just crazy. Like, remember the guy in Maine?
It just doesn't make a lot of sense, man. When you look at the situation, like, how did this person know that place was going to be unguarded?
How did he know that was a good vantage? Like, he must be from there. Or he must have known ahead of time, but you would see him scoping out the place. He must have known something.
Like I said, the way I look at it, man, just with everything that's going on, the way that there's a report that said that Trump told the guy's name, I think his name is Viktor Orban. He's the prime minister of Hungary, and so this was they met like yesterday or in Mar-a-Lago. And they spoke, and Trump spoke with them about, I guess there was some secret like meeting, not just secret, I won't say secret meeting, but a conversation where it was a message sent back to Putin because it was reported on Russian news that I guess Trump said, hey, I can stop this war in 24 hours. I would just stop sending funds to Ukraine. And to me, it just seems really, really strange. Not saying that that's the reason why
he ain't even in the White House yet. He's already committing treasonous acts.
And that I mean, really, because if you're setting up deals, like already setting up deals behind closed doors, telling people what, like pretty much broadcasting what you're going to do, everyone knows what that is. You're undermining our whole entire government by doing stuff like that. And so I just hope people don't let this become something to where we still feel sorry for a person who really like that. The point when you come in and say, like we were saying, I don't really worry about a person who doesn't care about me.
Yeah.
That's the part of it we need to work. That's the part we need to like add to that we need to take that and take that to the ballot box.
Yeah.
We need to go and vote because of that reason. Not to me, it's not about killing a person. You don't do something like that. It doesn't make sense. Like when it comes to politics, because it's not him. He represents a point of view. You kill him, that point of view will get bigger. That point of view will get stronger. That's called martyr. Martyring someone.
No, if you take out the head of that snake, and that, I mean, it's going to be around.
Be another snake that comes in because really, and
there's nobody as powerful as him to come up. Everyone else is politicians.
It has nothing. It has a lot less to do with that's the point of view. I would think that the Heritage Foundation really probably might not even want him in office. Actually, I'm not saying they want him to win, but they probably have a candidate who they think is a lot more clean cut and is going to really handle their agenda better than what he would.
Well, I mean, he had so much bad stuff come out. He had all those phone calls to the pedo that we will not name because we'll get demonetized. You know what I'm saying? He had this thing you just talked about, giving backdoor messages to Putin. There's a lot of bad news coming out about it. I mean, like, there's so much bad about Joe Biden, but there's more bad stuff about him. I mean, it could have been an inside job. There could have been Republicans that are like, look, there's no place for us in the Trump. Think about it, Donald Trump is king. He don't got to listen to nobody. That your political power is gone. He could be like, I don't like you, Lindsey Graham, no more.
They didn't just give it to him. They've given that to any presidential candidate that comes along.
Yeah, but they're expecting him to use it first.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because Joe Biden can barely know where he's at half the time.
Yeah, I mean.
He don't know if he's. Yeah, whatever. Anyways.
Yeah, but I know. Like I said, I understand, man. I agree with where you're coming from with it. I just,
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that.
And then